So my wife and I are almost in $111,000 worth of debt. This number gives me so much anxiety. But let me go ahead and break down what the debt is in. I got my laptop here. So we have, actually, let me put on my glasses. Hold on, because I want to get this right. Okay. So we have one credit card that's $15,346. We have another credit card that's $1,205. We have a personal loan that is about $24,000. We have another credit card that's $14,788. And I have student loans, but I have them all broken down into like loan A, B, C, D. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to call the loan by the letter. Okay. Loan A is, well, student loan A is $12,243.69. Student loan B is $9,729.87. Loan C is $7,379.93. And that's it for the student loans. We have another credit card here that is $9,846.39. And we have a car loan that is $6,860.65. We have another credit card, a medical credit card to be specific, that is $5,396 even. And then we have another credit card that's $3,388, which roughly comes to about a little bit over actually $110,000. But we're rounding it up because there's interest on all those credit cards, which could blow it up to $111,000. My spouse and I, we make $157,000 a year combined, not including our bonuses, commissions, or anything like that. So our income does fluctuate, but our base amount is $157,000 a year. We also live in California, which is pretty high. However, if we did not have this debt, we would be extremely comfortable. But I wanted to share this story because I was sharing it on my private Instagram, and a lot of you resonated with the debt amount. A lot of you are also in the same boat and are also paying off debt. So why not share it on TikTok, right? But right now, we do have a plan on how to tackle it. I'll go ahead and leave that in the next video. But how we got into this debt, y'all, is just being reckless and careless, putting trips on credit cards, not paying it back, just swiping our credit cards for clothes, parties, trips, like you name it, and just not paying it back monthly like we usually do. And then sometimes when you get into the habit of that, you really do get complacent with your money. And before you know it, you are in $100,000 worth of debt, which is so crazy because we are that couple who usually pays for things in cash. Like we had a vacation that we did for one of our anniversary trips that was paid for in cash. We pay for our iPhones in cash. However, we just really got complacent over the years. And so now I feel like we are stuck in this spot where it's not that we're uncomfortable with all this debt. However, we could be living a much better life if we weren't in it. And then also, I don't want to leave this debt to my son. I want to change our family tree. I want to be debt free. I want to be able to have the liberty to, for example, say if I wanted to quit a job or if I had a bad position that I was in, like I want to be able to just up and leave. However, with this debt hanging over our head, I feel like I can't do anything but work. Okay. And right now we are working, I don't have overtime at my job. Actually, neither one of us have overtime at our job. But right now we are just picking up odd jobs to cover the debt. My spouse goes and does Uber Eats just to make extra payments on the debt. And then right now, taking care of our home. Our boy is autistic. Of course, I work full time, but I also am the primary parent. I work from home. I also need to take care of him. So that's where I'm at. However, I do want to get a second job to tackle this debt. But in the next coming videos, I'll just update you guys on like how much debt we paid and update you with like what happened that month, because I feel like we've been paying off this debt for a long time, but it seems like something always hits. Like, for example, I have Invisalign, which cost me about like $4,000. And I had to get the Invisalign because the work that my dentist did on my teeth last year, because of the spacing in between my teeth, if I get new crowns back there, the crowns are not going to hold and he's going to have to redo the work. So that came up out of nowhere. Of course, we didn't have like $5,000, $6,000 floating around. So we actually paid $6,000 because I had to get the Invisalign, and then I also had to pay for the crowns. It's just a lot of work that needs to be done to my teeth. And then also we have to get new tires for the car. So every single time we save up our emergency fund is then depleted. So I feel like we've been in this cycle for years. But right now, our focus is on just paying off this debt. I'll upload part two at the end of this week on how we're going to tackle the debt, because how we're tackling it is different than how most people tackle it. I know there's like the snowball method, there's the avalanche method. However, I got this debt free calculator and it told us to tackle it in a specific strategic way, which should get us out of debt in about 3 years. But stay tuned for the next video.